Alright guys, new video. So there was a comment made the other day that, they got deleted, but somebody said that, I liked the video until I saw her name was Joe Biden or whatever. Obviously it's satire, right? I've had this channel for ever since I think Obama first got elected. I mean, years ago it was satire then, it's still satire now. I don't support Joe Biden whatsoever. The guy's a fucking quack, pardon my French, but he's a turd. Anyways, just wanted to get that out there and clarify. I'm sure a lot of you who watch my videos agree. Some of you who watch my videos might like them. That's the greatness of our country. We have the freedom to choose. So, purpose of this video is this right here. This is the new project. It's a 2005 Subaru STI. WRX STI, for those who are gonna throw a fit about that. So I picked this car up in a trade. Needed a fair amount of work. Turbo got sent off. It was a FP green. It had lateral shaft play, in and out. It had nothing side to side or up and down or around, just in and out. It was gone. It was bad. Now I sent it off to Force Performance to have them rebuild it and upgrade it. It was a newer style FP green, but it wasn't the newest style. I believe it was an HTA style, but it got upgraded to the newest 76 HTZ. So they had to replace the compressor wheel anyways, so that helped out anyways, because I was planning on pushing more power. Yeah, the car was pretty solid when I first got it. I mean, it had some mechanical issues and things have been going through and getting sorted out. It would run really rich, and it had it fell on its face. It would hit about 5 psi, and then it would just stutter, stumble, hesitate, and it just wouldn't go anywhere. It kind of buck, and it would spit out lots of black smoke out of the rear from unburnt fuel. It was just dumping fuel in. Anyways, and that was just the only time I drove it home. The motor sounded healthy. The motor was healthy. I got everything apart. Well, I should say got everything apart at that point. Didn't have any compression coming out of the oil filler cap. I mean, rings and everything should be good. There's no knocks, no weird noises. I mean, it runs smooth. There was an unplugged vacuum line that I plugged back in. It didn't fix the issue, but it did make it so it didn't run rich at idle anymore, which was good. But yeah, I've just been slowly going through it, working my way through it as I can afford it. And this is my second STI. I've had 2 Evos, my second STI. Hands down, I think the Evo is a better platform, but I still appreciate the STI platform. I still think it's a good platform. They're good cars. They're great cars also, I should say. The Evo and the STI are both great cars. It's just the Evo does everything just that much better outside of daily comfort drivability. That goes to the STI, hands down. Now, you can see I've got a lot of stuff off. The headlights are out and intake manifolds off, TGVs are out, turbo's gone. I'm getting ready to pull the motor tomorrow. I'm going to pull the motor and I'm going to go force internals because it's a stock block. My best guess is what it was pushing before was probably 360, 370 wheel. I don't know for sure because I don't have a dyno sheet and I don't have it wouldn't hit full boost, so it would cut out at 5 psi. But with the mods it had on it, it had an FP green, like probably the last or second to last generation FP green. It has Deechworks at 850 injectors, had 3-inch exhaust, cob cotta downpipe, nice intake turbo inlet, front mount intercooler. It's a Mishimoto 3.5-inch. Excuse me. The car was set up pretty well from how it was. I wouldn't want to push it any further than what it was on stock internals. In fact, what it was probably, waiting for problems on stock internals anyways. So, it had the Cusco front brace, has a SPT chassis brace underneath. you know, it's done pretty well. The car needs more than just mechanical. I mean, it needs paint. You know, I changed the wheels and tires on it too, and I've got spacers on it, 1-inch spacers. They're the 2011, 2012 STI Inkeys, and you know, it needs work. It had the hood scoop on it when I first got it, and I've since gone with a block-off plate. I'll show you what that looks like. I'm not overly fond of it. It does the job to keep everything protected when it rains, if it does, and lately it hasn't, but you know, it looks, I honestly think it looks better without the hood scoop, but it's got a front mount, so it doesn't need the hood scoop. So let's see, let's get a, there you go, the hood's still open. So, but yeah, I mean, it's a good car. It's gonna get there to where I want it to be. I'm gonna be, oh, that's why, stupid band clamp. When I'm all done with it, I'll be pushing 20 psi and probably right around 20 to 22 psi. I'm gonna see if I can get him to push it to 22 psi, be around anywhere between 400 to 450 wheel horsepower. So it had, you know, stock manifold on it. When I took that off, I'm going HKS equal length headers. If you guys don't know what the reasoning is of going to equal length over the unequal length, there's a lot of people, like the big Subaru fans, who are going to say, oh, you know, I love that Subi Rumble, I love the Subi Rumble. That's all well and good, you know, for those people. I don't care for it. I like the equal length sound. It sounds like a race car. It sounds better, but on top of the benefit of sound, here's where the real reason why you should want to go equal length headers on your motor. So when you go the unequal length headers, the exhaust pulses are fighting each other. So going into turbo, you know, up into your up pipe, the exhaust pulses are fighting each other, and it's actually causing back pressure to the motor, and it's causing your cylinders to get hotter. It's causing a multitude of different issues and other things going on. It's killing your power. It really is. I don't care what you say, it's killing your power. And it's been proven through dyno versus going even aftermarket unequal length headers to equal length headers. It smooths the power band out. It comes on a boost faster. You're going to get a better low end, better mid range, and better high end performance. All the way across the board, it's all the way better. So it equalizes the exhaust pulses, smooths out your exhaust flow. And for those of you who get ringland failure, especially on stock motors, if you've got unequal length headers, that's a good reason of why you got that ringland failure. You're heating your motor up, it's causing that back pressure, and it's just causing more stress on your motor than needs to be caused. So yeah, I mean, if you have a Subaru, the Subi Rumble really, it sounds okay, but I think race car sounds better, and that's what the whole purpose of these cars is: rally car, race car. You know, over in the JDM market, I'm pretty sure that they're all equal length headers over there. They're using equal lengths. The old twin turbo JDM motors, those ones are definitely equal length. And even on the new FA20s, the new WRXs and the BRZs, they're running equal length headers. They're kind of equal length headers. They've got a little bit, they're more equal length than these are by far. So anyways, going with the HKS equal length headers, I ordered them. Unfortunately, they're shipping from Japan, so it's going to take a little while to get here. I think they said it's September 1st was the ship date or something like that. Like I should see them by September 5th, I believe. I don't remember. We'll see how it goes. Basically, it's going to be, it was 2 months out or so or whatnot from when I ordered them, which for me, it's not a big deal. I'm changing a lot in the car. You know, I've already got the new exhaust on there. I had a SPT 3-inch on it. I went with a Perrin resonated and a catless downpipe versus the catted downpipe it had on it. upgrading to a Grimspeed 3-port boost control solenoid, TGV deletes, rebuilding the whole motor, forged internals, manly rods, manly pistons. Going to do a new nitride treat crank, king bearings, only king bearings. They have much better tolerances, and they're much closer to each other versus the ACLs are all over the place. And also there's an air oil separator similar to the Grimspeed, but about $100 less, a little more than $100 less, and it's the exact same thing. What it does is it's got the 2 lines coming into it from, you know, the breather system, and then it has 1 clean line going back into the air intake. And what it does is it replaces this cap and it drains into your filler, so you're not having to dump out your cash can, you're not losing any oil, you're not burning any oil. Well, you wouldn't be burning it anyways with the catch can, but it's not going into your intake, it's going straight back down in your tank. And also, when doing the forged motor, I'm going to do the Killer Bee pickup tube and Killer Bee windage tray. So, you know, the car's going to be coming along. You know, motor's coming out. I don't have a key. So some stuff I've already done on the inside. It's nothing major. Nothing major. So I've changed out the gauge pod. It had the factory OEM STI boost gauge. I put in the pod here, air fuel, gonna have boost over here. Change it out, have oil pressure, oil temp, and I haven't decided what I want to go. Oh, crap. Well, not sure what happened there, but oh, there. All right, anyways, so yeah, I haven't decided what I want to go there. Changed out with the Torque Solutions short shifter, shifter bushings underneath the car, same as the Cart Boys, just cheaper. I had to do a little machining on the parts to get them to fit, but they fit just fine. Went with a parent shift knob. It's 1 pound shift knob. I mean, nice little shifter. It's gonna work good. Got an Alcantara wrap coming for the steering wheel. It's the aftermarket wrap that fixes your old worn out steering wheel, which this one is old and worn out, and it basically makes it thicker and you have more to grab onto. I'll zoom back out a little bit. So it makes it thicker and you have more to grab onto, hold on to, and also freshens up the look, makes it look a lot better. I'm going to change out probably WeatherTech or different floor mats. Excuse me. We'll go to the trunk and show you what I did there. The trunk is actually something I don't know if anybody else has done besides me. We had a 2008 Jeep Wrangler years ago, and I had bought in a used subwoofer that I didn't sell with the Jeep. So what I did is I mounted in here because the guy I got it from had two giant subs in there, and I don't need those. You know, I didn't want all that extra weight. I didn't want to lose a lot of my trunk space, so I found a good spot to drill it in where I'm not. Zoom out real quick. There we go. So a good spot to drill it where I'm not covering up this, so I can still get this out if I need to, if I need to access the spare. Come in. Stupid thing. Anyways, I'll fix that later. But yeah, I mean, it's just I believe an 8-inch woofer, factory woofer from the new JKUs, JKs. I guess they're old now because the JL's out, but from those ones, I came from the inside, took the seats out, drilled through, put a bolt through to hold that, drilled that into the pan or into the floor, drilled this into the floor. It's not hitting anything, not hitting the fuel tank or anything. I mean, you got It's just barely going through the floor, just enough to hold it in place. I mean, it shakes the car when I try and move it. It doesn't budge at all. So it hits good and hard, plenty for what it needs to. It's a car for driving around, having fun, and every once in a while, you know, having some tunes going. But I got the 1-inch spacers on there. I just finished putting them on today, and it actually, I think it helped out a lot. It definitely is a big improvement. It looks better, a little more aggressive. End up going wide body. But color I'm going to paint the car, I'm going to change from the World Rally Blue, and I'm going to go to Nardo Gray. Nardo Gray, and I'm going to redo the wheels because clear coat and other stuff on it's kind of jacked up. So, pardon me. Going to go with, there we go, back to standard zoom. Probably go with what the old wheels were. They were powder coated black, but they had like a rainbow sparkle to them. And it was a really, really cool looking color. Like when the sunlight hit it, you got rainbow sparkles, and it actually looked pretty sick. So I'm gonna make another video also for what I'm doing with the headlights, but doing the retrofit on them, and gonna change them over to, well, I already kind of started. I'm just waiting on some new headlights to come in because mine have broken tabs all over the place from previous owner, and get that all fixed out. But I'm going to go to using the Morimoto D2 Mini D2S projectors. So keep your eyes out for that video. Let's see. Yeah, engine stand getting ready to go. Everything's just messy. Selling off a lot of the old parts. Also upgrading from the Mishimoto tube to the parent, or not parent, agency power hard inlet tube. I had that on my old STI. Let's see. Yeah, just parts everywhere. It's a big mess, but you know, it is what it is. So I just want to say thanks for watching, guys. Keep you updated as I go. I'm not going to do a whole, you know, technical thing on this of how to build these cars or anything, or how to put them together. I have outside micrometer and inside micrometer that I'm going to be checking all my bearing clearances for, and make sure that I have the right clearances. And that's going to tell me what kind of oil I'm going to run. I'm probably going to run 2050 VR1, get that extra cushion, that extra oil protection in there. For those of you who don't know, when you're breaking in an engine, you don't break the engine in easy, because that actually causes you to use more oil, get more blow-by. It doesn't seat properly. You don't want to send it with full, you know, wide open throttle right off the rip. Obviously, you want to get it started up, bring it up to operating temperature, get the air bubbles out, and then go for a drive. So your piston rings seat within the first 20 miles of driving. So if you're driving, you get out there, get in a moderate boost, like 5-7 psi. Just get some boost in there so it gets the gases behind the rings and pushes them out into the cylinder walls and seats them properly. You do that, and your motor is going to run healthier. It's going to last longer. Your rings are going to last longer. You can get better compression. You're not going to use any oil. It's all around going to be 100% better to break in your motor that way. Make sure you have, you know, the proper proper honing, you know, 45-degree crosshatch. Do it with the torque plate. It does make a difference, especially on aluminum blocks. Use a torque plate. But, you know, once you get everything rebuilt, right tune on, and get everything set up, you know, the cars are they're a lot of fun. For all of you who watch my channel, I'm sure you're the same as me. You guys like to have fun. You like to send it. You like to get out there and hit the twisties, hit the corners, and get after it. Have a lot of fun. That's why we have these kind of cars. It's not a drag queen. It's not a straight line wonder. And that's, honestly, I don't care for that kind of racing. It's not nearly as much fun as going around a corner or getting sideways around corners and just hammering down and pushing the limits of the vehicle, figuring out what your limits are as a driver, improving yourself, and getting to know your vehicles better. I love these cars, the STIs and the Evos, especially the Evos. I know I've already talked about that. Oh, one other thing that I'm going to be doing is the top mount that had the spray for the top mount. I'm going to be relocating it to spray onto the front mount to cool it down to get some much better intake temperatures and, you know, just cool it off a lot more. So yeah, that's the car, guys. That's where we're at, and new project. So thanks for watching.